It's
What?
now time for Fresh from the Comic Shop. That is right. Fly from the Pressing Salon. If you guys get that cute little reference, that is from Will Smith, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and The Fresh Prince, Summertime. Never mind. But anyways, that's right. It's time, Fresh from the Comic Shop, where Chris and I, and sometimes a guest, we have no guest this week, we share with you our 5 pickups from the comic book shop, our mail calls, our AOKs, 5 books that we got this week, and we share them with you. And we share everybody else's who shares them with us. So guys, in the comments, tell us what you got, because we have some good gets as well from our audience that we will be sharing. Chris, I'm going to have you go first. What is your first book from Fresh from the Comic Shop?
Well, it's a 2-parter. And I'm picking this first just because we were just talking about DC. You brought up Future State. I got the Kara Zor-El Superwoman 2-part. So I got 1 and 2. And so I went down to a comic book shop in Benicia, California called Zeppelin, are actually one of the retailers for Bad Idea. So, I wanted to get some more Future State. I've only read the Wonder Woman one yet. I have another. I have I forget. I have a couple, but I haven't read them yet. But I wanted to get more, and I got this one, and I read it. And one thing that I like about this is that the artist is the writer, Bennett. I forget her first name. A woman that's doing the art and writing. I wasn't really into it. I wasn't really into the story. But I got to the end and I appreciated the meaning. Like there was this deep meaning. What am I trying to say here? This message, right? There was a message in here. I wasn't really a fan of the art, but I thought the art was extremely unique, but it wasn't really my thing. But I can see how some other people could enjoy it. It just wasn't for me. So I look back at what you just said, Jeff, about how it hasn't really been speaking to you. I wanted to show this off because even though it wasn't really for me, taking myself outside of myself, I appreciate what it was and what it did. I actually think it was written and the art was done. Like I like this kind of. That's an ad, by the way. But that's more me, right? You get those solid colors and it's more kind of rugged, where this has that very kind of almost like a peach momoko vibe with kind of the pastel colors and everything. But I was reading it and in the characters in the art was written, and I'm like, this is a great story for young girls and women. And I think really can speak to something that where every comic book that's released doesn't have to be for me, doesn't have to be for you, ever, doesn't have to be for you or you or you. It's like this can be something. This type of storytelling and artwork is, I think, really awesome for a different type of a person, and I think it really speaks to young girls and young women that might be wanting to get into the hobby. So. Again, I could be subjective and say, it wasn't really my thing, but I think there's a lot of potential here for where I think I like what DC's doing by kind of molding characters into speaking to maybe different audiences.
Yeah, I'm trying to like it. Again, I haven't read the whole line, like the Future State line, but the things that I've read, it just have fallen flat. I love Wonder Woman, Joelle Jones. That art is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And the story, it's got like this cute vibe to it, right?
Yes. I only read the first issue, but
not in an annoying way, in a really endearing way. I really enjoyed Future State 1 and 2, Wonder Woman, and now she's going to get her series by the same creative team. I'm in.
You know what it reminds me of after just reading the first issue? Like a Pixar movie.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
The vibe, the writing, and
it's really just quick too. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So anyways, those are good pickups. I mean, you took a risk. Like, my daughter's teacher said, be a risk taker. She's 5. Be a risk taker. So you were taking a risk. So I applaud you on that. I took a risk too. It's not that much of a risk. I was interested in this, let's say. So for my first pickup this week, this came in the mail. So I think this came out 2 weeks ago. But it is a new series by Aftershock. I have not read it yet. Busy week, guys. Get off my back. Okay. But this is Maniac in New York. It's about a serial killer who cannot be killed. And he goes on a rampage. And, it's by Elliot Callan and Andrea Moody. And I'm definitely interested in checking this out. I heard a lot of people liking this. I heard a lot of people talking about it before it was released. It's got some pretty cool artwork, ton of variants. I think this thing was pretty hot. It sold out pretty quickly as well. But I'm excited to start reading this thing. Got it in the mail, ordered it from TFAW. That's a pretty good online distributor. But yeah, online shop actually. But that is my first pickup of the week. Chris, what do you have for your second pickup of the week? Oh, wait. Time out. That's not how we do things here, Chris. That's not how we do things. We go with the audience here, and we got Matt S., who shared with us. Been a while since I did a mail call. Here's Alpha Flight 1 through 50, all new stand editions, which I thought was pretty cool. This is a callback to last week's show. It's no Amazing Fantasy 15, but at least it has these covers. Dinesh had shared with us his Amazing Fantasy 15 with no cover, but he was loving the smell. Matt, those are great pickups. I'll tell you, like, Alpha Flight number 1 is a big deal because there's so many first appearances in there, and I guarantee you that Feige is looking at that as, a potential, whether it be their team or some of their characters. Also look into issue 19 where it's Shaman's daughter, and I cannot remember her name off the top of my head, but that's a great first appearance as well because she's a younger character who could be in this kind of youth movement that they have going on. But Matt, that's great. And by the way, guys, that's how you share your pickups with us. Tag us on Instagram if you're in there. Hit us up, however you want. Email them to us, what have you. We are happy to show them off. It's super exciting. But Chris, what is your second pick of this week? What do you got?
I like that choice by Matt too. I do want to say, like, I got most of I have 1 through 100 Alpha Flight, and I got like almost every issue in either the 50 cent or the dollar bin. And there's a lot, I'm telling you, I think there's a lot of Marvel runs that at least I was able to pick up in 50 cent and dollar bins. Like New Mutants is another one that get ready for, because like you said, Feige, but
by the way, Matt has 3 copies of 19. I cannot remember her name off the top of my head. I have 2 copies myself. I cannot remember her name, but that's a good first appearance. And by the way, also Pedro Windu, what's up, Cannon? Happy Friday, comic fam. Thank you for joining us, Pedro. I hope you're having a great day. You're in time for Chris's second pickup of the week. Chris.
All right. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, guys, but it's breaking my heart. Here's Star Wars number 11. I started reading this, and I'm on, how many pages I get through? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actual 6 pages. And I read it like two or three different times, and I can't get through it. And again, this storyline, when they rebooted last year, it's issue 11, takes place right after Empire Strikes Back. It is just so dull and dry. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever been this bored reading a comic book. I really don't. There was a couple issues there that I started to enjoy. Like Luke went on a little journey to meet like an old Jedi or something that still was alive. And but then after that, it's just it keeps just dragging out. And I'm like, this is so bad.
Yeah, this is the first time any of us have chosen a book that you're like, this sucks. Yeah. But I appreciate the honesty. I absolutely do, because it doesn't have to be something you like. It could be something you just regret. Because we all have regrets sometimes in this hobby. P. Keel picked up a high-grade West Coast Avengers 45 for no damn reason. What are you talking about, man? That is the Vision Quest storyline, right? Where we see the new Vision, the John Byrne kind of revamp the Vision. We may see that in WandaVision. Who knows? That's a good pickup, man. I really, really like that. Cali Comics picked up the Civil War #3 Michael Turner cover. Nice pickup. Tricky Clicky, Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, #1. That's a nice one, Joe G. Here we go, Joe. Doctor Strange 174, First Satanish. I'm picking up multiple copies of Silver, Bronze Age, first appearance of magic characters, Chthon, Satanish, before they're introducing the MCU. Not a bad strategy, especially with what we saw in WandaVision today. No spoilers yet. We're going to talk. We'll talk a little bit about it at the end of the episode. But Joe, great pickups indeed. All right, moving on. Here is my second pickup, and I just clicked on something, but it's a good question. Did you guys read Fear Case? I have not read Fear Case, Cali Comics, but I will be on the lookout for that. All right, here we go. I'm gonna give you guys my second pickup this week. That is King in Black #4, just the regular cover. I usually read these right away. Guys, I had no time this week, but I'm pretty psyched because this also has Peach Momoka's Demon Days. It's an exclusive look, a prelude is what they're calling it, to what she's got going on her series. She's drawing and writing as well. So I'm excited to read this. I've liked it. I've liked it to an extent. I thought it's been pretty good. It hasn't been a letdown, but it's also kind of like dragging on, I feel like, at this point. I'd like to know what you guys are thinking about King in Black yourselves. So, Chris, actually, what we're going to do here.
We got something else?
No, I don't have something else, but Dan De La Torre has something he wanted to share with us. This is X-Men 31, first appearance of the Cobalt Man, a nice 7.0 Silver Age book. Dan, man, you pick up some nice finds, and we know you love some Defenders as well. We know you're a huge Defenders fan. Swaggle House has actually mentioned that about you as well. So, but that is a very nice book. Early X-Men, #31. That's good stuff right there. Keep telling us what you picked up. We'll get to all you guys. Chris, what do you got next?
All right. This is the complete opposite of reading it. Again, it breaks my heart. Star Wars just boring the hell out of me. But I am loving this series so far. 3 books in. I just looked at my orders, and for some reason, I ordered #5, but I didn't order #4. So that sucks. So I got to go find one somewhere because it comes out next week, and I'm like, I can't wait to get it. Symbiote Spider-Man, the King in Black run. There was a run that came out in 2019. This one started last year. Peter David is just killing it, man. I'm loving the Greg Land art too. He's more known for his cover art, but he does the interior as well. This storyline is just so. When I'm reading it, I feel like I'm watching an MCU movie, but it has classic Spider-Man vibe as well, because this does take place. I won't give any spoilers away, but it takes place when Peter has the symbiote suit. All right. And it ties into King in Black. So, it really, like, I could pick this up, and the whole vibe of Peter is totally like, late 70s, early 80s Peter. And yet it's so fresh and fulfilling with writing that is right up there with the best of the best writing from the best MCU films. You got Rocket Raccoon that appears in this issue. And like, just the banter is so freaking Bradley Cooper, and I'm hearing his voice in my head as I'm reading it, and it's like spot on. And this is one of the best reads, I think, out of 3 issues that I've read in a while.
Dude, I love Peter David. I also absolutely love that cover. That cover's outstanding. And again, I think we talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago. Our first experience to who Captain Marvel was Monica Rambeau, right? For me, like, that's who it was. I didn't know any other Captain Marvel. So I love that cover. I love that she's becoming a major player, and I'm super psyched for that. Pedro Window picked up a Marvel Spotlight #4. Now, here's the deal, Pedro. I'm sorry. I don't know how that refers to WandaVision. I know that's a Werewolf by Night. If anybody could tell us, or Pedro, if you could tell us that, I'd appreciate it, because my ignorance is showing.
I know.
Go ahead, Chris. What is it?
Oh, so Marvel Spotlight 3 is the first mention of the Darkhold, and I do believe Marvel Spotlight 4 is the first time that we see it.
Got it. Okay. Pedro, if you want to clarify that and confirm, that would be great. But that's a nice pickup, man. Nice pickup there. Again, guys, keep letting us know what you guys picked up. But I'm going to move on to, what is this? This is my third book of the week. All right. I mentioned about, there's just a few future states that I do like. And Dark Detective is one of them, guys. I'm really enjoying Dark Detective. You do see the next Batman right there, but I haven't read this issue again yet. I will, but this is one of the future states again with Wonder Woman that I really kind of enjoy. I'm also happy this is not a $7.99 book as well. I've not been happy with those. You're paying $8 for a book. It's just ridiculous, but I'm okay with this. This is pretty decent. I'm digging it. I love the Dark Detective costume too, and Bruce Wayne on the run kind of a thing. So that is my third book of the week. And what we have here next to share with you guys from our audience is from Union Josh Comics. He picked up, based off the latest episode of WandaVision, he's leaning more and more towards this book. It's the first appearance of Modred, the Mystic, as well as Chthon's first appearance as the Other. So that's a nice pickup too, kind of following Joe G's strategy. I believe it was Joe G who said that he's going through all the Mystic, the Mystic Marvel characters and things like that, because man, those are gonna do well. I'm telling you, especially when the Doctor Strange film and even Spider-Man film come out. It's gonna really kind of concentrate on that whole corner of the Marvel universe. So that's exciting stuff. All right, see if we have any comments here. Anybody else want to share something else? Nope, nothing yet. Yeah, why does DC charge $1 more for the variant? They're charging $2 more because there's a backup story. So they're charging basically $8 for a backup for the main story and the backup story. I don't think it's worth it. Anyways, Chris, what do you got for your fourth pickup this week? I feel like we're losing energy here. Let's pick it up, everybody. Let's pick it up. What do you got, Chris? What do you got?
All right, so I have not read this yet. Heard a lot of great things about it. So I bought it. I might read it today. Radiant Black.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I kept seeing, I'm in Facebook groups, comic book Facebook groups, and there was just so much talk all week long about, how good it was. I think I might have seen a couple people, yeah, it was okay, but so many people were like praising it. So yep, I picked it up. I was at Zeppela Comics, so this is one of my pickups as well. I plan on reading it this week, but this week was crazy for me as well, and I didn't get to it, but I will be getting to it this weekend, and I'm excited about it.
I see Charlie Kirkland did send us 3 pictures, but you sent it kind of like their story, so we'll go through. There's a Star Trek right there.
Ooh, yeah. Little gold key.
More of that Star Trek. I'm not sure what that is, but if you can send it as just regular pictures, those are looking sweet, though. Those look to be Silver Age comic books. That's good stuff, Charlie. We're loving that. We are loving that. But, yeah, absolutely. And, all right. The reason I went ooh is because I'm psyched about Radiant Black as well. I'm getting that in the mail, so I have yet to read it as well. But I'm hearing great things about it. And that, guys, is going to be a Image superhero universe that they're starting with Radiant Black. I'm psyched to read that. All right. Here we go for my fourth book of the week. Guys, this is another book I haven't had time to read, but I'm really, really enjoying this series. It is Thor 12, The Return of Donald Blake, guys. Man, this is just twisted. Donny Cates is bringing this twisted version of Donald Blake. I'm loving every minute of it. I really am enjoying this series. I'm psyched to read this. I haven't had a chance, but again, this one just came out on Wednesday too. So guys, I know I usually pick up gold in the dollar bins. I had no time to do that this week. My daughter came with me into the comic book shop, and she has no patience. As a 5-year-old, she just wants to hit the toys, get what she wants, and get out and open the box. So that's what happened this weekend. So I did not get to dig in the dollar bins, but I'm gonna tease this, Chris. I'm gonna tease this. My last book here I did read. I'm super psyched about, and I hope you guys consider it as well. Tricky Clicky giving props to Charlie Kirkland on that Lois Lane book. Absolutely. All right. Chris, what do you have for your last book of the week? The last fresh from the comic shop book you had.
I'm gonna tell you guys, it's not fresh from the comic shop. I've had it in my collection.
Whoa, what is this? You're changing up the whole segment. That's not fair.
I've had this in my collection for over 30 years. But I'm gonna tell you two things. One, it's fresh. It's still fresh. And two, I freshly pulled it out from the bins that I haven't looked at in a long time to give it a press. So I said, you know what? I'm going to show it off because it's still fresh. It's fresh to death. And it's fresh on the Fresh-O-meter in terms of what it's doing in the market right now. So I thought it'd be fair to show this one off. And that's my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures. #1 newsstand that I got off the rack so very long ago. It's it's a fine plus very fine copy. It's got like one color break and some spine ticks because I read it many times. But newsstand for these is definitely rare, and it's still decently high grade enough. And it means so much to me. And I'm so glad I kept all of my turtle books from when I was a kid.
You know, you have talked about that book quite a few times. You know what? It's fresh. It's fresh. Not fresh from the shop, but it's okay. It's allowed and fresh from the comic shop. All right, here we go. So we have a couple. Cali Comics is loving this Thor series. It says there's a great fight scene. I'm psyched. I'm gonna read this book in the next couple days. Comic Noob. I picked up Marvel Tales 237, 238 Tom McFarlane covers, trying to complete that set. I remember those. Absolutely. All right. Here we go, guys.
You got one more? You got one more, right?
What's that?
You have one more, right?
I have one more. I teased
this
one. Oh, by the way, Cali Comics. Yes, Chris, awesome Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was so lucky to get a copy from Comic Command Center that was signed by Eastman. I unfortunately lost all my childhood books. Good stuff, man.
That's awesome. Hey, Jeff, I don't mean to cheat, but after you show off your books, I got to show you guys something real quick.
All right. All right. Is it part of the Fresh from the Comic Book Shop segment, or is it something else completely?
I mean, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. So, guys, I teased this book here. I was super excited when I heard the synopsis of what this book is. This is a book by a gentleman called Peter Calloway, and he chronicles his grandfather's life. This is Shadow Doctor #1. It's a true story from Aftershock Comics. Shadow Doctor #1. It's about a doctor just getting out of law school in the 30s. He's black. He can't get a job anywhere. And he ends up becoming a doctor for Al Capone. So this is, I can't recommend this book enough. It's so good. And what fascinates me more is that it is a true story. You see actual pictures of the family, of his grandfather. He gives kind of a reason why. It's great. I'm really excited to pick up the series, the next issue. Shadow Doctor #1. I cannot recommend this enough. Just a really cool read. Especially, I think what I find most fascinating. It was a great read, but it's also being a true story. It's a fascinating kind of situation this doctor puts himself in. So that is my last book of the week. So Chris has a bonus book, I guess. That's not really fair, but whatever. I mean, he's totally hijacking Fresh from the Comic Shop. I hope you guys are good with that because we have no choice here. Go for it, Chris.
Okay, so look, I can't. So as we were sitting here showing off our books, and who do we get? Who was the first guest book that we showed off? Was that from Matt?
The first. That was Matt. Yeah, that was Matt with the Alpha Flights.
Oh.
And then we had Dan De La Torre with X-Men 31, Cobalt Man, and then we had Union Josh Comics with Marvel Chillers #1.
Who was that?
Union Josh Comics.
Union Josh. So funny. As we were doing this segment, I was in a bidding war for a set of Marvel Chillers
#1,
and I got the winning bid
This is like, I mean, congratulations on the winning bid, but this would be, you can't use those for another episode of Fresh from the Comic Shop. You can't.
It was so fitting. So I can't show them off when I get them. Yeah, but I thought it was so fitting that we're talking about it. It's being shown up here, and I'm sitting here bidding on the book, and I win it. And that's just, I thought that was so cool.
You know what? Congratulations on that. Not everybody is happy that you won it and you hijacked Fresh from the Comic Shop. No big deal, but that is Fresh from the Comic Shop. That's all we got this week. We will have a brand new books to show off next week. Guys, hit us up on Comic Book Canon on Instagram. Tag us with your books. We remind you each and every week. We're glad that some people listen because we're very happy to show off your books.